can't be serious. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. You can't be coming for me. Bitch, please. Look at motherfucking me. Welcome to the first episode of the Crèative Crèatif. It's Mars, lover of all things iconic.
And I'm Shy. And again, this is the Crèative Crèatif. So this is where we kick the shit about all things creative, getting into the process, about you, me, and us, how we bring our imaginations to life.
So Shy and myself are multifaceted creatives. We do many things in the creative space, and we wanted to create a safe space to talk to creators about their process. Because being a creative is not as easy as everybody try to make it out to be. It takes a lot to think of an idea and actually bring it to life. So we wanted to bring people in and hear those stories.
Blood, sweat, and tears, honey.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So get ready to see some familiar faces throughout the year as we'll be interviewing some of your favorites from many different industries.
So we're going to be talking to designers, choreographers, journalists, stylists, chefs,
creative directors, music artists, songwriters, and today we have one of my all-time favorite creatives.
Mine too.
And I don't even know where to start. So I will never forget in 2005 when I first saw this person on YouTube, and they just made me feel very seen and very much not alone. He has choreographed for Beyoncè during her B-Day era, which is one of her most iconic.
I met Jontè and Ramon, and they were the choreographers.
He has danced with Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl. Ooh. And he is even a pop star in his own right. And I cannot believe I'm about to say this. But please welcome to the show, Jontè.
Ow! Yes.
Oh, that was so cute.
Oh, you're welcome. You are... I don't know. I say you're one of my top creators because you have inspired so many things in me that has sparked me to do so many things. Even moving to New York. When I saw you and got the dig, and I was like, oh, he's in New York, and this is how people can exist in New York. So to be here sitting with you is surreal.
Let me cry right here. I'm sensitive.
I love it. Yeah, no, and for me too, seeing you be multifaceted and occupy so many avenues, for me, that's been a struggle for me as a creative. How does this happen? How does it happen? So seeing people like yourself, seeing you occupy avenues, I'm talking about occupy them. Hats off to you, for real.
Thank you.
For real.
I was outside, baby.
Still outside.
Word.
This was before social media, you know what I mean? Everything was hands-on back then.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oof, I was fighting niggas in them streets.
Ooh, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get all the way into it. But before we get into that, let's get into what makes us creatives.
Let's talk about it. So, according to Oxford Dictionary, a creative is someone who uses skill of imagination to produce or bring new works of art into the world. Jontè, what makes you a creative?
Craziness, honestly. Going back to my childhood, I was just always around the arts. My mom was an actress. Okay. And, I grew up in the church, of course, always. And then back in school, I was just, in school plays. From the age of 5, I was, what was it, elementary school. And my first show was Snow White. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But it was an all-black school, so we had to call it Snow Bright. You know what I mean? Yeah. All the black children. So, so that was my first little taste of being a creative. And ever since then, I promised myself that I would only work doing what I love. You know what I mean? I've never worked a 9 to 5 ever.
I've always that bug early on. That's great.
And so when I came from Portland, Oregon to New York City at age 18, I was like, bitch, this is it. And going back and keep that promise to yourself.
Absolutely. So when you get the creative bug early, stick to it. Stick to it.
Woof.
I would kind of say the same thing. Once it hits you, it's you really can't do anything else because when you do, it kind of bothers you.
Exactly.
I would say what makes me a creative is I'm just in love with the process. I love the end results, but it's I find so much intention and hard work and grind in the process, and I feel like that's what invigorates me and makes me a creative. Shai, what makes you a creative?
For me, I'm very romantic in my creativity and just whimsical and kind of out there. And so for me, I guess I consider myself like a creative visionary. And so, and also a multifaceted creative, which like I told you was like a struggle, but learning to hone in on that and using the limitless inspiration around me to channel and to tap into whatever that looks like, whatever I feel is right.
Makes sense.
It just got to make sense to me. And, you know, however I express that is how I express my creativity. You know?
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So now that we got that out the way, Jontè has an extensive career, so I want to get all the way into it.
Oh, Lord.
So let's get into it. So let's start with the underground scene. So you're 18 years old. You just got to New York. How did you end up being a part of the underground scene, and how did that help you reach opportunities in the industry?
Well, I started going out to like the Suzanne Barch party. You know Suzanne Barch?
Yes, love Suzanne Barch.
Yeah,
she's still throwing parties to this day.
Still throwing parties. Like, she's a legendary. But, you know, being around her and being around Patricia Field, because Patricia Field had a store down on Bowery back
Yes.
in the day.
Yeah.
So I used to-
Iconic.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
I used to always go to that store, and just being around those type of people at the age of 18 and seeing how they operate inspired me to be me. You know what I mean? I would go there and she would like throw looks on me. Yo, you need to wear this.
Yes, that's exactly how she's
You know what I mean? She got that low dyke tone voice.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Thing. But yeah,
bad.
starting out at in New York City at that age and being around all those creatives helped me, you know, hone my own craft as well as visionary. You know what I mean? Like, I already had the talent when it came to like dancing and music, but just being around those what do you call them? Club kids.
Yes.
Yeah, that club kid pop culture life. And then I started performing at Suzanne Barch's party back in the day.
Okay.
I didn't know
Like, she was at this place called Room Service like in 2007. Or was it 2006? It's been so long. But like Lady Gaga used to come before she was Gaga, and like all the kids used to come and watch us perform.
That
You know
is
what I mean?
crazy.
So we've been outside, honey.
Absolutely. So performing with Suzanne Barch, is that what kind of led you into like the dance space?
Into the performing arts space, I would say,
Gotcha.
as a recording artist. 'Cause I
Okay.
was already dancing and choreographing for people, but I never like put myself in the front as an artist. So that kind of pushed me. You know what I mean? It kinda pushed me to become a recording artist as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, it was 2004 when we did
Really?
that. Yeah, because I just released makeup on YouTube. You know what I mean? So I was like, I need to go out and promote. Like, I gotta be outside working. Honey.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
It hit my radar in 2005. And I was like,
Right.
yes, very much so.
And a few years later for me. So
ooh,
that's,
I love that. A few years later. Wow. How old were you guys back then?
I want to say I was either like junior, senior in high school. I was just starting college. But I do remember like I was living in the South, and I felt the way that you looked. So to see it was like, oh.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it made
It made
sense.
sense.
Like it made me feel not crazy.
I love it.
2004, I was like fifth grade.
Fifth grade? Lord.
Yeah, I think that's like fifth grade for me, 2004.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
you
I
see,
love
you've been
it.
inspiring me for a good long time.
Yeah.
And I'm
Wow.
happy that people are finally starting to see that, because back then it was like no call and response with YouTube and internet. So it's like I felt like I was in the dark by myself.
Yeah.
And nobody was really, supporting me. So it's good to see that people did take that in. Because I was like, I know there's some babies out there that's just like me that need to see this.
Absolutely. And I know like it takes like a level of being brave to even step out in that way, like because you see now we see the girls are wearing their heels.
It's so easy now.
They're very like you know androgynous, but not back then. That was unheard of. Unheard of. And not only were you wearing the heels, but you also like you are the epitome of androgyny to me.
Yeah.
So you're wearing heels, but you
Yeah.
still have like this masculine edge, and you kind of like perfectly mix the two. Like the girls were just not doing that back then. I mean, they're doing it now, but
And it's funny because for me, I always felt like you seemed so settled in who you were. It just felt like you were just
It was
straight up.
real.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
real.
yeah,
It's coming from a place.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
yeah.
So, question: how did you and Ramon end up in the Slave for You video? Take me back, because this is new information to me, and I love Britney Spears.
You just getting into it?
Yes.
Well, I'm actually not in the video. It's all Ramon. Yeah, Ramon's in those videos. He did,
Okay.
what was it, Slave for You for the VMAs. You know, when they had the snake and all of that, like he was one of those girls that was there. I had just kind of moved to New York City, and so he moved to LA in 2001 and auditioned for her, and then he came back to New York City back around 2004, and that's when we really started working together.
Oh, got you. Yeah. Okay, so Brittany kind of cultivated the relationship in a sense. Okay.
It was Janet that really brought us together, though.
Ooh, perfect segue.
Exactly.
Perfect segue.
Can you tell us about that?
Oh Lord, what you want to know?
So let's start with, what were the rehearsals like?
Child. Fucking boot camp.
Really? Walk us through it.
Girl, Janet Jackson does not play. Well, first of all, let's even go back to the audition process. Like, that was crazy. Because I was taking a dance class here in New York City, and Janet came to watch one of her choreographers teach the class. And she was, you know, sitting on the side watching, and afterwards she was like, Johnny, you're so amazing. You got to come to LA and audition for you know, my show that I have coming up, which was the Super Bowl. And I said, ooh, Jay, I would love to come, but bitch, I'm broke. So if I fly out there, you better book me.
Okay, exactly.
She was like, you know,
And you was like,
I was like, no, I'm serious. This is my last $200. I'm going out to the audition, so y'all better book me. But it wasn't just that. It was me working hard doing the auditions, because you know, we were at this dance studio that had two-sided mirrors. So it was like maybe 2,500 guys that were just auditioning. 2,500, and I only needed like maybe 10.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you got 2,500 guys and you got like 2,500 girls. And it's like, bitch, who's going to get this? And the thing was, I'm a very dedicated person. And during the break, because it was like a long-ass rehearsal, long-ass audition day. So during the break, everybody else went out to eat. And there's like a few of us that are in there still rehearsing. And guess who's watching? On the other side of that mirror.
Exactly.
And she was like, okay, that's who I want on this team. They dedicated.
Absolutely.
Bitch, I'm not eating no sandwich. The only thing I'm about to eat right now is these steps.
Okay. Exactly. Exactly.
it's touching me.
And that was around 2004. Yeah, 2004. So shortly after that or before, that's when you started working on like your solo thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the thing was, you know, Janet Jackson, the whole situation, that titty slip, you know what happened after that. You know that.
Right. It kind of overshadowed everything.
It overshadowed everything, but also because of that, there was a programmer that was so inspired by that performance that he created a website called YouTube.com.
Exactly, which led to Jontè being on YouTube.
I was like, well, bitch.
You see how the universe works? Exactly.
Okay.
Cutting out the middleman. Cutting out the middleman.
Hey, man. That's
well,
what
let's
it's
hit
about.
it to 2000s.
So Beyonce put you and Ramon in the spotlight for the B-Day visuals. Like, if y'all don't know, that's who that was getting ready, okay, with me. Yeah. And so was the B-Day, was that the start of your you and B's creative relationship?
It was.
Okay.
It was. And she had found me online watching makeup.
Mascara, erase. I wanna look good for you.
Really? See, the girls have taste.
Okay.
Yeah, they got
Okay.
The girls have
Okay.
taste.
And basically, she was like, I want my Freakum Dress video to look like that.
Wow. And now that I think about it, it kind of does. Like,
I was a reference.
right,
Wow.
you're just her in makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it applies.
Don't it make
Just
sense?
with the rose.
Right.
Wow.
Was it Frank Gatson who introduced you in B, or?
It was Danielle Polanco and
Oh.
Peanut, because she had just did the checkup on that music video with her.
Oh.
All of that. She was like,
Okay.
you gotta get into my friend Jontè. So she started watching. She's like, I need him over here.
Danielle Polanco, another legend.
Yeah,
Love
shout out to
her.
Danielle.
You should
Yeah.
have her here one day.
I do want to have
Yeah.
Danielle Polanco. If you're listening, Danielle, I want you on the show because
Yeah.
you have a career I need
She
to walk through as
big.
well.
She got a lot of stories to tell.
Did you meet Danielle Polanco in like the club kiss scene or? Okay.
Okay.
Yep, that's my baby. Well,
Okay.
actually, no, I met Danielle when she was like maybe 16, because I was at Alvin Ailey, and she used to skip her class to come and watch me take class.
Oh, I love
she,
that.
she was like, what was the PPAS, like with the co-op students where they come. And so that she used to come and watch me do African. She was like, bitch, what is this? Like, you could be in class, girl. Like, stop,
Yes,
stop cheating.
taking notes, taking
notes, girl.
Yes. So if I remember correctly, y'all shot all of these B-Day visuals in a very short amount of time. How was that?
it? Stressful. It was like we did all that shit in a week.
Really?
Girl, we didn't
Wow.
sleep at all. We would leave there like the set at like 3 a.m. and have to be back at 6
Really?
for a whole fucking week.
Beforehand, like in preparation, like when we were on Mount, y'all already had the choreo and stuff together, or y'all just did it?
We had to do that shit like there.
Really? Wow.
Because everything is hands on, you know what I mean? It's so last minute, so it's like, girl, you gotta pull up right here, right now.
Wow.
It's now or never. Like I wasn't even supposed to be in the Snap. What was it? Give Me Body. We wasn't supposed to be in that. We was just there watching, and they were like, "Can you please be in it?" I was like, "Oh, I can't do it all."
Snap for the kids, snap for the kids, snap in a circle 3 times.
But don't miss your moment.
Wait, so
Right,
y'all did the
right.
choreography Give Me Body too?
Yeah, child, we was outside
Wow.
helping. Not just that, we did the whole 3-day world tour.
Oh,
Everything.
wow.
Like,
See,
all of
I
that.
didn't know that.
Girl, the only did you see the 3-day world tour as well?
I have it on DVD.
You
yes.
did? Oh, yeah. So basically, the only thing that I
referenced
didn't choreograph was irreplaceable. Everything else is my work.
her. Wow. Jontè, I did.
But
That's like the Beyonce experience is one of my favorite Beyonce tours because she was hungry.
She was
like
hungry,
she was not that she's not hungry now, but it's something about an artist like when they're trying to get to where they need to go, it's just a hunger that they don't have that they used to have.
she had to fight for it because also the thing was like the record label wasn't trying to pay for that project. They said there's not
Really?
one song on her that's a hit, so they pushed it to the side, and she spent her own coin to make that happen.
Oh,
Wow. And that's how you do it because B-Day, if you ask any of her fans, that's usually the album that everyone is like, this is the best.
And that's the one they say no fucking hits on there.
Right. And it's the no skip album. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. Speaking of the hits on the album, Sugar Mama will always be my favorite. As far like the video, watching y'all do the choreography.
Our fake props and our fake videos, and then you see it really on the set coming to life.
What's your favorite?
Freakum Dress still.
Freakum Dress.
Out of that, yeah.
Freakum Dress is iconic. It
Absolutely.
reappears, especially on TikTok.
Yes.
It's been,
Freakum Dress eats.
yeah.
Eats.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Jontè in Japan. So I'll never forget seeing that, and it just felt surreal. It
For me as well.
It was. I'm like, this is mind blowing, right? And then so I ended up going. I was like in a class of yours, and you were speaking in Japanese, and I was
さあみんな、あいう音楽踊るよ。
and I was like,
You like, wait, what?
this is the one. Like, and I'm in the back just like,
Like, what?
fangirling.
Because there was a lot of probably Japanese students in there.
There were, and you was.
皆さんちょっと日本語喋るですね。
Oh, see,
No,
I don't
no.
know what the girl said.
We could do this whole interview in Japanese if we want. I'm chilling.
So for our Japanese audience, can you tell us about what that was like for you being a pop star in Japan?
Well, you know how I got there, actually. This was after choreographing for the B-Day World Tour.
Okay.
The first place she went overseas was Japan. And so, like, I was backstage and I met, like, some record execs there. And they were like, Jontè, what do you think about, like, staying here in Japan and becoming a recording artist? And back then I was young, and hungry as well. I was like, why not? Let's just do it. So I got signed to an independent label. And that's how I started working out there. And so they were like, we got to figure out how to get you outside. So they just started throwing me in, like, all these live TV shows. And, yeah, from there I just, gained the fan base, basically.
Wow.
But
Sidebar.
it was crazy.
So when you choreograph a tour, the choreographer goes on the tour as well.
Well, like maybe the first 2 or 3 shows before you really send them off.
Oh, got you.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Just to make sure everything's good.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's like a
Work out
captain
there.
or something that like keeps everything intact.
They got a
Okay.
dance captain, yeah. But
Okay.
I ain't sending my work out to the world and they ain't look good.
Right.
Exactly.
Right up in there, right
Exactly.
Okay, so during that era, we had like High Kick Pow come out, and that's one of my favorite music videos from you.
I'm Toshiba, get too close, get seizure. Crouching tiger, jujitsu spider, black belt, blue sleeve, Negro fighter.
I love you dancing in those gloves. First of all, that was legendary.
on the
Were those
feet.
gloves or were those like shoe gloves?
Those are boxing gloves.
Stop playing.
Yes, girl. I would have to be like this the whole time because you're gonna brother me. Yes. That'll stuff up for the look.
Okay, so
Yes.
that
Don't be stealing
video.
my idea either. That's my look.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't be putting like mittens on your feet and stuff and calling it yours because that's Jontè's. So like that video alone, I saw a lot of like Japanese theater references. Can you tell me about like how that inspired you during that time? Because I'm sure, I'm not sure actually. Was that like a culture shock for you seeing that type of theater and type of just
What you mean?
like Japanese
Influence.
exactly?
Basically, yeah. I had to figure out how to make it my own though at the same time. You know what I mean? Because I don't like to appropriate.
Right.
Either, So That's because I was signed to a label. I was able to do that. And so, you know, we had a really cute budget back then.
Okay.
You know, the label was paying for that shit. But what happened? So, what was the question? I forgot.
So just like,
what do you want to know?
I just want to know, like, what you took from the Japanese, like, experience. Exactly.
Honestly, I became, like, it's like my second home. Or my third home, I would say, because like I have so many friends there that I've been working with, because I was teaching in Japan first back in 2004. Okay. And the first place that I went to was Hiroshima. And so I went to a place where they don't really speak no English at all. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I had to like build a relationship with them, and I would just go out and like have dinner and party with folks, and I started to learn the language. And so because of them is the reason why I started going to Japan more. And then all the students that I was working with in Hiroshima back in 2004, they ended up moving to New York City after not speaking no English, and now they all here with kids. Really? You know what I mean? Working for like Pat McGrath, doing doing the biggest gigs now because our relationship that we had in Japan. So yeah, I would say I just built a family there. It's like it's my place to be, honestly. And the food is so good.
It's a dream vacation for me. Like I want to go to Japan so bad.
Oh my God.
I've always been obsessed with like their culture. Like
it's insane.
Yeah.
It's a good place to visit, I would say.
It's like, crazy that you went and learned the language there by experience.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was thrown into it.
Yeah.
And then I was thrown on TV, and it's like you have all these Japanese comedians that are here, and of course they know Japanese fiercely. And I'm on that TV show with all of them, and I got to stand out without no translator.
Right. And you did.
You did. I mean? So I was outside, but the thing was, like, I would go out and party with like all the gay club kids there as well that were Japanese, and then I would hang out with like professors as well. You know what I mean? Who were teaching at colleges in Japan, and so it's like I knew slang, but I also knew some educational words as well. So when I go on TV, bitch, they be like, "How do you know that?" In Japanese.
Exactly.
You were in the culture. You were
in the culture, but organically, because I don't play that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
There's a gem in there, like. Do not be scared. Even if it's like unmarked territory or something you're unfamiliar with, like as a creative, take those leaps. Get past the fear, because there's always something on the other side. Like seriously.
Did that sum it up? That makes sense?
Yeah.
No, that made a lot of sense. That made a lot. Have you been back?
I haven't, because of COVID. The whole situation that happened. True. They shut Japan down. They were like, bitch, y'all ain't coming in.
Right.
Burnt.
They kept us out.
Speaking of, can we talk about this? Because I remember you were not able to release music for a certain amount of time because you were like in a bad contract. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, so it was 2012. I was signed to the record label, and then, you know, because of the big earthquake that they had in Japan, my contract was basically null and void. You know what I mean? Because they couldn't do anything with me because they had to basically, you know, take care of Japan. So they went bankrupt, and then my project shut down. So the only video that I got to really promote was High Geek Pow, and then everything else got chopped. But I had a whole album ready.
Wow.
And literally the week my album was supposed to come out, they had the tsunami that week. And it's like, girl, like you got 35,000 people that just got swept into the ocean. How you gonna be outside trying to promote?
Yeah.
Just out of respect, like I wouldn't even do it.
That was a crazy time.
It was true, girl. I was there for that. Like I was like maybe 4 stories down, and I was inside this place that's like just as tall as the Empire State. And all of a sudden I just felt everything moving like this. And they were like, bitch, we got a fucking earthquake that's about to come. That was 7.9.
Wow.
Earthquake. And I was like, bitch, we all the way downstairs. All I did was run upstairs with my socks and a bikini on.
You were there through the whole thing?
I was there through the whole thing. And I walked outside, and the street looked like this.
Wow.
Like a fucking wave. And then you look up in the building, something like teeter-tottering back and forth.
Oh my God.
And I was like, bitch, this is the end. And you in socks and a bikini.
and
I'm happy you here with us.
Fashion, right?
Shout out to all I've been through.
Okay.
Put it on a dress.
Ciao. But what doesn't kill you?
Yes.
That's right.
Amen.
Speaking of popstar Jontè, I want to go to my favorite Jontè project, which I played a little bit at the beginning of the show. And it's called The Last Train to Africa Paris. If you have not listened, please go to SoundCloud and get into it because it's very timeless.
He a mess.
So the title was inspired by Dirty Money's iconic album.
Oh, God, don't bring that nigga up.
Right. I mean, we're not giving him no tea, but follow me. So on that album, they experimented with a lot of different sounds, and on your album, you experimented with a lot of different sounds too. So can you take me back to when you and Dave Virgo were creating this project? Like, where were you at as a creative? What were you trying to invoke?
I was just trying to make a little album to put on SoundCloud. And I was like, Dad, you want to pop off with me? So I used to take my computer to her house in Brooklyn, and we literally be sitting there screaming into the computer. So, we didn't have no studio. We didn't have no money to do that back then. So I was like, girl, let's just take my computer, and then we'll have somebody mix this shit. So we literally made the whole album screaming into the computer.
Really?
Drinking and talking shit, and thinking about church's chicken because we was high.
Yes. That's crazy how that came together. Like, what made you put I Know I Married a Damn Monster?
I know I married a damn monster. I know I married a damn monster.
Like, that's an iconic housewife scene. Like,
Yo,
how did you fit that into the project?
Key. Well, Michael Magnan was the one that put that whole album together for me, the whole mixtape. So he's like, "Oh, you should throw this up in there because it just makes total sense." So he was the one that made that mix.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
I knew you were gonna bring her up. That Nene Leakes key.
Yes, iconic. And also on this project, you were very like sensual.
69 every time. Dog your style for a while.
Were you in a relationship at this time, or you were just feeling more like sexy and risque? Like, where did that come from?
I was in a couple of relationships.
Oh, cute. The boys of New York.
Yeah, she was all over. Fan too.
Oh, see.
I like to be global.
In different area
Period.
codes.
Hey.
Y'all funny.
Yes.
I want to talk about what really, I mean, granted, the album is iconic, but I'm looking at the imagery, I'm like, that's you on the cover of Paper, Acne Paper. One of my favorite editorials from you, by the way. Love
awesome.
you as a model.
Thank
like,
you.
iconic.
Yes.
Can you tell us about that shoot and how that moment came about?
Well, everything always reverts back to makeup. Basically, one of the people that were in charge of that whole shoot, they were watching my music videos online as well. And they invited me over to Sweden to perform at a castle for them or something.
Really?
I know. Yeah, I know. This is, 2007. I know, right?
Period.
I'll be performing at castles or whatever.
Period.
Yes.
So, yeah, the editor invited me over to Sweden, and then we became a little close. And they were like, we got a shoot coming up. You want to be a part of it? I didn't know I was going to be the cover of it.
That shoot is fire.
Thank
is.
you.
Fire.
I don't know if you've seen the actual magazine, but the magazine is in there, and then both of my boys are in there too.
Really?
I mean, I was
I will be looking on eBay for that.
Look on eBay for that. Yeah, girl. I was like, girl, I'm bringing the tray to the shoot.
As you should.
Make sure you have some extra Comme de Garçon.
Okay, a little bit of seasoning.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gotta keep my babies booked.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that. We all eat. We all gotta eat.
Exactly.
You ain't living here for free.
Okay. Another sidebar. I have never heard you talk about this, so I want you to get into it.
I'm gonna say no.
Where the fuck? I'm gonna repeat that. Where the fuck is James Madison?
You gotta ask James Madison.
So let's talk about their process.
James,
a little
where you
bit.
at, sis?
Right, where are you? So
Cause she's amazing.
she is amazing, and I was so obsessed with how you were like creative directing her career. So
I was in that studio.
what was
working.
your vision for James Madison at the time?
To not dance like a box.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because to me, she sounded like a church girl when she sang, but she also looked like Janet Jackson. So I was like, girl, if you're going to look like Janet, you better make sure you can move.
Right.
You know what I mean? She looked like a little mini Janet at that
Yes.
time.
You had the girls in the mirror working.
Working, honey.
Sweating.
Like, what made y'all even just release that out? Because that really what gave the song like its credence for me.
It was basically her management that was working with her at that time. Like, I was close with them. And then, like, we got a new artist that's coming because you start working with her. So we would bring her over to the house and just sit in the mirror and just work on movement. So that's what it was. It was chilling.
I love that.
Everything is organic with me. Like, I don't like to force it.
Yeah,
The shoe don't
absolutely.
fit, don't force.
And that seems to be almost like a lost cause, just that artist development and really
I
like
know.
grinding. How you feel about that?
I mean,
'Cause
there's
that's
only so much that you can do.
yeah,
You know
that's
what I
true.
mean? It's up to the artist in the end. Like, you really got to be hungry. You can't be pampering them all the time.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
So it is what it is.
Do you feel like artist development, like looking at back in the day and looking at now, do you feel like that's a lost cause?
It's not a lost cause because we need it. Look at the
Yeah, I agree.
We
look
do.
outside.
Because
I
the
need
girls
that.
don't know what they're doing.
They don't, and they get thrown into this because they get a viral video or whatever, and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean, they look out here looking messy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to practice.
Absolutely. Speaking of artistic development, who are some of, looking at the current realm of girls, who are some that you could see yourself like working with?
Myself. That's it.
Really? I mean, that's already going to be a key. That's already going to be a key.
We ready.
We are
ready.
No.
She's an icon. She's a legend.
Yeah.
And she is the moment.
Okay,
Yeah.
she's the moment that it's going to end.
Yeah.
Well, these are some people I could see you like whipping
Working
into
with?
shape. Brie Runway.
I love her.
Y'all would eat together. To me, that would just be iconic.
I love her.
Tinashe, I feel like you could eat with her too.
Victoria Monet.
And, Victoria Monet.
I love me some Victoria. I'm just at the point right now where I'm kind of tired of choreographing for people.
Yeah,
If
I
I'm
feel
gonna
you.
work with them, it gotta be on a music level. From
I
now
feel
on.
you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a star too. I can't just
You
be
are. You are.
It's about that time. Why everybody else started looking like me, but not me?
And that's the gag. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
One more
it.
time. Oh, never. Okay.
That is true. Like, and that brings me to where we're going next, which is the Renaissance Tour.
Okay.
And as a Black and queer person, like, how do you feel about everybody kind of like taking from us? As we said in the beginning of the show, like, you were the one, for me, who was wearing the heels and dancing in the heels and just being very loud and out there. And now we kind of see that everywhere, and everybody doesn't pay homage to it because it's just been so oversaturated. Like, how do you feel about that?
Well, I take back. You know what I mean? Being on this tour, I took back. I'm on the main stage, honey. You can see me and everything that I've been through, and that's really all that matters. It's like you can't fight against it. It is what it is at the end of the day. But as long as you keep yourself out there, that's really all that matters.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Don't ever give up. That's
Absolutely.
one thing. People might take, but you could take back too.
You can. I needed to hear that. I can take back too.
I can take back as well. Like, yeah.
So being that you would pick yourself as to creative direct, what are your like vision for like the artist
Can't talk
Jontè?
about it yet.
Oh, okay. So we got some things coming.
Yes, we do.
So when it's
Okay.
happening, we're gonna have you back. Okay, to talk about it.
Yeah,
To talk
We
about it.
have a round two, honey.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, let's get into the Renaissance Tour because it just left.
Ooh.
And, you know, NDAs are a real thing. So if we ask you a question, you know, it's in the NDA, just be like, girl, it's a chop. We're going to chop it, okay? All right. So it took 4 years to plan this tour, right? Around what point did you become involved?
2021.
Really?
Yeah, because I was working on the music videos that we were doing for that. So I had heard all the songs with her voice on it before.
Oh,
so I've been working on this since like November 2021 up until now.
Beyonce is a thorough, sneaky. Ooh, girl, you
She's
so
a key.
sneaky, girl.
Yeah, she's the key.
Sneaky.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was going to be a tour.
Really? Oh, you see how she do the girls? She be having the girls working. See how you work and then bring you
Wow.
back. But y'all have had such a long creative relationship. Like, so when things like this happen, does she just call you like, Jontè, do you want to get on this? Or
Always.
Okay.
That's exactly how it is. She knows because my energy is always the same. I don't switch up for nobody.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
so all these years, she already know I'm going to be a hot mess and a kiki, but I get my shit done.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of is that how the Single Ladies moment happened on the Tyra show? Like, did she just call you like, can you come do this?
Oh, that was so
That was
awesome.
so iconic.
You and Sean.
Yeah.
I love
know.
seeing that. Daytime television.
Yep.
Fuck it up.
Kiki, she was like, I need to have the boys do it this time. Because, you know, there were so many boys that were putting their version on YouTube.
Yes.
She was like, let me put y'all on Tyra Big Show with me.
Yeah.
Y'all ate that.
And
Thank
take
you.
note that they were dressed like Jontè.
I know, Sean was over me.
Yeah.
Girl, like,
Yeah.
you know, I was in Japan promote my album in the wig, you know, the whole wig moment, the plastic wig moment. And I was like, bitch, if I'm going to be on Tyra's show, you going to wear what I'm wearing.
Yeah. You gonna match me.
Okay.
Sean, I love you.
Okay.
Word.
Yes.
Word.
And you were also coined as Uncle Johnny on the Renaissance Tour. Why do you think people who saw
Was
the
I?
tour, a lot of people will call you
Yeah.
Uncle Johnny.
Wow.
They would like
Yeah.
see you as a representation of Uncle Johnny. Like, why do you think that
I
was
guess
a
like
thing?
Uncle Johnny of the Freakum Dress.
Like, you really, like, your presence just really carried the entire show.
thank
Like,
you.
because I went to the birthday show in LA.
Oh, you did? That was September 4th. honey.
Yes,
You
that
came
was
to a
an
good
amazing
one.
show. And
We
yes,
had all the girls. Diana Ross was there.
all the girls,
Yeah.
like, even like sitting down waiting for the show to come in, like, you know, all the celebrities in LA. So every
Ooh.
time somebody was walking in,
just
everybody
like-
was screaming. And I'm like,
Who
what
is that?
that?
Exactly.
So it was just, it kind of felt like the Grammys almost. Like she brought out more celebrities, stars than even like award shows.
Yeah.
And although I was there to see Beyonce, I was really there to see Jontè because I just, I just live for the way that you work.
Was that
on
the
a
first
stage.
time seeing me on stage too?
Was it live?
Live?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Because I came to one of your classes way back in the day at Broadway Dance Center.
No, you did.
I did. But I was just there because I was a fan, but I could not keep up. And at the end of the class, you was like, baby, you're going to have to come to another one.
Did I say that for real?
You did, because it wasn't like, Jontè don't do beginner classes. Like, if you don't have your shit together, you cannot come to a Jontè class.
Listen.
You cannot have it.
You had me working when you were teaching to be like, keep the body rocking till like 6 in the morning. So I was like, I went to that twice. I was like, I need more.
I need more. Yeah. That's a hard combo.
You had me.
Good for you.
Yeah, that was very hard.
Works the girls.
Yeah.
Blue been killing it all tour. She gonna eat you hoes up every time. But what I want you to do is look past Blue and get into Jontè eating it up in the bag. Jontè is letting you hoes have it.
So what were some of your favorite cities to perform in for the Renaissance tour? Like, what city gave you the most energy and just like...
It was so many. Like, we did a tour in Europe as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was Europe, and that was my first time going to places like Marseille.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Or like, where we're in Spain. Ooh. Oh my God, Barcelona. Child, I wanted to stay there. I was like, I don't know if I'm about to go back on tour. I might just stay here.
Listen, it's beautiful over there.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous. But there were just so many places that I went to, especially New Orleans. I had a good time. It was my first time going to New Orleans.
Really?
I had never
Love
been to
New Orleans.
Oh my God. I had to stay like an extra 5 days because we had a little week in between. You know, I was like, bitch, I'm gonna stay right here in New Orleans and Key.
Yeah, their energy is crazy.
Yeah, it is.
The food.
Yeah.
The food is fire too.
Yeah. And the niggas.
Oof.
They so fine
You
with the accent.
They out there,
baby. Bye.
They
I
out
don't
there.
know what you're saying, but come.
Okay.
Come over.
Okay.
Come here.
Okay. Let's take it back to the process though. Like, what is that process like? Like, because one of my questions I have here is that, we know you to choreograph for Beyonce, but on this tour you were a backup dancer. So were you offered the choreographer position and didn't want to do it, or what was that
was
like?
just too much. Like, I can't be on stage and see the vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's somebody else's job if I'm going to be the one that's performing.
Absolutely.
I just knew that I needed to be a part of this no matter what. And so, oh God, I had to become one of the dolls, and I was the oldest doll up there. You know, me and Beyonce, we both from 40.
Yeah.
We up there, like, I was like, I don't know if I can handle this because this is a 2 hour and 30-minute show. Like, that's a lot of shit to do. And that stage is huge. You know what I mean? This is a stadium, child.
Yeah.
This ain't no little arena. You know what I mean? So being a part of that, I was like, I pray I can get through it. If I can get through it, I'll do it, y'all. But pray my strength. Because, girl, when we was walking off that stage, me and Beyonce looking at each other like, bitch, we both in our 40.
Yeah.
Everybody else, you know.
Listen, but, like, for people who don't know you or who are not familiar with, they would never have known, like, the energy that you... And even her, the energy that's given out on stage is just like, it has no bounds.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's an internal feeling for me too.
Yeah.
And also just seeing these babies on stage with me too, like working, with Blue Ivy, like that's
yes.
You know, Beyonce don't trust everybody with her baby.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, so
that was a moment. I made a TikTok about there was another one before I made the one about your career. This is what led to that one about your career. I had made a TikTok about Blue Ivy because she got better every show. I forget what show it was, but she had on like the camouflage, the glittery camouflage. And I'm watching for Blue. Everybody's like, it's going viral because of Blue Ivy, but I look in the bag and I said, Jontè eating it in the bag. I'm sorry. Blue, you eating down, but Jonté's eating it up in the bag. And everybody in the comments was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even like pay attention. And then that's when I had to like, let me school the girls on who this person is. But yes, child. Like, so what were rehearsals like for Renaissance? Because Beyonce is a beast too.
It was like 24 hours, just like with Janet Jackson. Like, it's just non-stop.
Really?
And everything is hands-on because nothing was really prepared, you know what I mean? So you'd be waiting around forever, working on lighting, looking on all that shit. That was the process. Once the tour started, that was easy, but it's just the rehearsal process. It's like non-stop.
Yeah.
It's like 24/7. You don't sleep. And when you go home to sleep, all you're doing is thinking about rehearsal.
Yeah.
So like for a good, 2 or 3 months, it was a struggle bus.
Wow. Wow.
I lost weight on this tour, bitch. I came sample size.
I mean, you keep going to the perfect segues, because my next question was, what were some of your favorite fashion moments from the tour?
Oh, God. What were yours? I like the Poochie moment.
Poochie was fire.
Poochie was the best, and I wish that she would have worn it from the beginning, like Loewe. Because the Loewe is iconic, but that Poochie is iconic.
That was the one.
Yeah.
I love how it grew, though. You know what I mean?
The Poochie was groovy.
Ooh, girl.
Yeah.
But that was a gag, too, though, because, like, we didn't sleep because of the dress rehearsals as well. You know what I mean? Because we had to go to fittings. Can you imagine trying to fit 23 dancers to look like her?
Yeah.
So it's like, 1 minute she'd be like, oh, I think I want to wear this. Out of nowhere. Now, all of a sudden, you got to have 23 dancers wearing that same shit.
Right. Shout out to Shayana Tarini.
Okay.
Because she ate it.
And to all the seamsters, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Y'all was back there. Ooh, I was like a slave. I was like, ooh, I feel for y'all. Y'all bitches back here sewing.
Yes.
The bitches is sewing.
Sewing.
Yes.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, the Poochie was a moment. The Loewe was a moment. The Coperni was a moment for me, too. The silver would have had the silver on her belly.
Yeah.
I liked it more so because of the way that the backup dancers, the way y'all outfits complemented that. It just was like so sonically put together. Like, I really, really enjoyed that. But also, it's just, I could also tell, because, you know, I was watching you every show.
What?
Your outfit was always, it always gave something a little different than everybody else. And I was like, see, this is her golden child.
Because I got the real fabric.
Yeah.
It cut different.
Okay.
I mean, I stay a little bit longer to get my look together.
Okay.
Because Jontè is a star too, y'all. That's like, a pop star.
Jontè, they asked me, Jontè asked to say you want to wear it. Yeah, let him. Yeah. Whatever I wanted to wear, she always let me wear whatever I want.
I love that.
Me all the time.
I love that because you had the outfits and you had the different wigs. Girl. Like you just giving the girl.
And I was backstage taking some of her outfits too. Love you. Because you know she got so many damn outfits. She always ordering shit that she don't even use. And so for her birthday, like, you know, there was kicking and partying. I was like, damn, I don't got nothing to wear. So I just went back and took her dress. And she was like, ooh, this is so cute. I said, yeah, it's from you. Thank you.
I love that. And speaking of, because Beyoncé, for the tour, there were a lot of outfits that were not used. And there were some, like, I'm not going to say any names, but there were some designers who were kind of upset. And it's like, girl, calm down. She's going to wear, you just never know with her. Like, so just calm down. Yeah. You're going to have your moment.
Them racks was crazy.
Like, seriously.
Who was it? I want to know now. Since you outside.
I'll tell you off air. Because I might want to have them on the show. But I'm going to tell you off air. Because I was like, girl, if you don't sit your ass down, you just got here, if we being honest. But anyway.
Ooh, it's one of them girls.
Yeah, it's one of the new girls that don't, you know, they don't have no home training, child. No home training. Mm-hmm. So the Renaissance film, did Beyoncé know, like, when the tour started, that the film was going to be done? Or there was something
I don't know if she did, but I know I didn't.
You didn't? Okay. So you were just like doing interviews just to be doing them?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know what it was for, but I knew it was going to lead up to something. And we didn't even know that shit was going to come out till like maybe a week before the tour was over.
Really?
That's when we found out they had a movie coming.
She works crazy.
It's insane. And if I would have known that, because they had been filming since the beginning of the tour, my wigs would have been much better by now. I'm like, damn, but y'all should have been told me we was filming a movie. I would have came out like correct from the start.
Yes. How was the premiere for you?
I had a good time.
You did.
I had a good time.
You looked fab on the red carpet.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
After all he's been through, y'all.
All I've been through. Also, like, that damn movie is so long ago. I was in there with that red bob, nodding off.
Listen.
I nodded at the tour. I was asleep. So I had to go and see it 3 times.
But like seriously, I had to go see it twice because it was like it's very long.
It's very long,
very long. And like the first time you see it, even like going to the show and seeing like the movie for the first time, it's like you see a lot of aspects that you didn't see at the actual show. So the second time I went, I was like, let me go and like study and take notes because this is a lot going on.
It's a lot to take in.
Do you know when it's coming to streaming?
I don't know.
Beyonce, when is it coming to streaming? Like, stop playing.
Stop playing.
Can you tell us some things that you learned from Beyonce or picked up from her along the way that you cherish and like sort of keep with you?
I would say commitment. That she's one of the most committed artists that I've ever worked with, and you can see because of work ethic how, you know, everything pans out because she's always working. Like she never stopped working, and I'd be like, damn, if she's working, then how come I'm not? You know what I mean? I should never stop.
Yeah.
When I say don't sleep, why am I sleeping?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's one thing I would say. Because you're a Virgo. You know, Virgos don't know how to sit down. So I like to be around that energy.
That's what I hear.
Ooh, girl, Virgos don't know how to sit down.
That's what I hear.
And I like that.
Yeah.
They get it done.
What's your sign?
Libra.
I'm a
Same.
Libra
He's
too.
a Libra. I'm a Gemini.
Oh, that's how we all make sense.
Yeah.
Yes, we can deal with your crazy ass.
Yeah.
Well.
I know, right?
So being a Libra, you deal with a lot of indecisiveness.
Oh, girl, all the time. That's
It's
why
so bad.
it's so annoying. That's why I just have to stop and only give myself 2 options.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't do 3, then the bitch gonna be lost.
I'm learning. I'm learning. Like even last night, I was supposed to go out with a friend. They ended up not coming. And I just stood in the middle of the street because, I was already down here. Like, I was in Times Square.
They did that to you?
Right. But I'm thinking, like, it threw me off. So I'm just sitting there like, what am I going to do? What am I about to do? Like, and I just sat there and, like, I just kept giving myself more options. So I had to get down to the point where it was like 2 options only because, girl.
Yeah.
So I'm sure
It's just too much.
long menus probably fucking y'all up.
Yeah.
Long, big ass menus.
Cheesecake Factory, girl. I'm going to
I'll be
the
like,
same
what?
place I always go to.
Yo, that's exactly
I don't got
just so
time.
you know, bro. We be sitting there looking at that menu forever, like, ooh, should I get that?
Same over here. I want it all. I want something creamy. I want something salty. I want something spicy. I want
Just the
all
most.
it.
It's so indecisive.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's get into your choreography.
That was me.
So when it comes to choreographing, what does your process look like? Like, do you just listen to a song and kind of feel it, or
There you go.
Okay.
You just answered it.
So do you record yourself?
When I do it,
Like when you're feeling it?
after I think it's cute.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I have to hear the song though and get into it and see what they feel. You know what I mean, or whoever the person singing is, because I want my body to. I want to embody that as well. Like I want to sonically and visually look the same, which is very important for me. Like the mood should look like the sound.
Absolutely.
Y'all hear that?
Absolutely.
That's why you are one of my favorite movers ever, Jontè.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so whatever, I'll tell you. So like when I be at home just playing around, like I try to tap into what I feel like feels like movement that you just have this like kind of, it just, I don't know, it feels like careless and kind of just like effortless and just like, this is where the fuck I'm at. I don't care what it looks like. And that has really helped me just even if it don't go nowhere, even in my living room, that has helped me.
I love it. It's
for
therapy,
real,
right?
for real, nah, for real.
Therapy.
So in that process, right, where you just like, okay, you choose a song and everything. When do you, like, what point do you say like, okay, this is it, I'm gonna move forward with it? Because I know, like, for myself, with ideas, I do like that back and forth with the trusting of it. When do you feel like, okay, this is the idea, I'm gonna stick with it, and I'm gonna release it?
After I film it once and then go back and correct it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I have like maybe 2 or 3 different versions of it, and then I just break it down until I dissect it until it looks like a masterpiece that I want.
So you can't be too hard on yourself in that process,
I be
right?
chilling.
Okay.
I mean, we all make mistakes, and sometimes my mistakes be cute.
Right. That's another gem. And I just took that in. Sometimes your mistakes are cute.
Yeah.
It's out the door for perfectionism,
Out the
y'all.
door.
Yeah.
Out the door with it.
Fuck perfection.
Okay.
My mistakes are perfection.
Exactly. Put it on a shirt right now.
Word.
Yes.
Word.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, after having this long-lasting career, what do you want people to take from your legacy? That you're still creating. Like, Jontè's still out here. So, but as thus far, what do you want people to look back on your work and take from your work?
I don't think I'll know that until my legacy is done.
Really? Okay.
I'm gonna be looking over and saying, "Yes, child, you did that."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't really know what I want people to take from me yet because my legacy isn't over.
I live for that.
It's just beginning.
Speaking of your legacy, do you see some of yourself in like the new choreographers that are coming up? Like, who are some of your faves?
Ooh, I love me some Sean Baker, of course.
Yes.
Shout out to Sean.
Of course, yeah. You know my babies, Jaquel Nice, all of them.
Jaquel. Love Jaquel.
Love Jaquel.
Yes.
Yeah, there's so many. So I still see a lot of influence because a lot of these kids used to come and take my class or they were dancing with me at one point, you know what I mean? So it's just good to see like the how do you say, the lineage?
Yeah, lineage.
Yeah, for sure. And it's been 20 years now, so damn, I got a family, I got great grandkids.
Are there avenues that you haven't tapped into that you would like to tap into? And it could be random.
Acting.
Ooh.
Yeah, I want to do that.
so we saw you in Why Did I Get Married too? Pop out that cake.
That was an act. I was acting for. Oh, that's another thing.
Let's talk about it. How did that happen?
I was all over it because I said no. Cause I'm trying to play a movie. I said, I don't know if I want to do it, but you know, I was called by Janet Jackson. She asked me. She was like, hey, can you come and do this role and you just pop again? I was like, oh fuck, and it's Tyler Perry movie, JJ. Girl, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it just for you. But literally, this was like maybe 3 weeks after Michael had passed away.
Oh.
And I had got that call from her, and I couldn't be like, no, sorry, girl.
See, context.
Yeah.
So that's why I was in that shit.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to next, because it's just like that clip often comes back to, you know, it comes back around social media. And a lot of people, let's get into it. So Tyler Perry has problematic ways of projecting images in his art, and
especially with the gays.
Yes, and they thought that that image was one of them.
He made me look bad.
Yeah, like on purpose.
And wouldn't even take a picture with me on set.
See, again, another gem. Go where you are appreciated and valued.
Yeah, but also I couldn't say no to Janet.
Right, you can't say no to
why
Janet.
I'm in that movie. Other than that, I wouldn't have been there.
Absolutely.
Know your worth.
Know your worth.
Know your worth.
Know your worth. So I'm definitely excited to see you doing some acting in your way in the way that fits you.
I want my own TV show.
Oh, it's coming. I mean?
Whether it's reality or scripted.
It's coming.
I'm going to get her. Ooh, what's it going to be called? Either Cookie from the Block
or
After All I've Been Through.
I like After All I've Been Through.
After All I've Been Through.
Which one? The Cookie Chronicles, yeah.
Okay.
I know you don't want to like creative direct the girls no more. You want to work on your own stuff. But I could see a show where you're like, getting people's careers together.
Ooh, I can see you on a judge panel.
Own, you know, like,
yeah, these new artists.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They need it.
And film all that shit.
Okay, all of it, because you girls are giving. It's a chop. It's a chop.
Yeah.
That's your voice?
Yes.
Friday, you got your voice pre-recorded?
It's a chop. It's a chop.
You a key. She over here pressing buttons.
Listen, it's a chop. So, Jontè, we're coming to the end.
Okay. Aww,
thank you
so much
for doing this. Of course.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
You are just. Love you too.
I'm happy I'm the first one, honey.
You're the first.
You picked the right one.
You are the creative of all creatives to me. Your career is still going. I wish you the best and will support you in anything that you do, as I've been doing. So to close out the show, tell people where they can find you and some things that you may want to give to hint to what's coming, or.
You can find me on social media. I mean, I try to stay outside for y'all. You can go to @hellojontè.com. No, @hellojontè. I guess you could write it too for them.
Yeah, I'll pop it in the screen.
Yeah, pop it in the screen so they have it.
Yeah.
And I won't even talk about what I'm gonna do. So just follow me online so you know what I'm doing.
Exactly.
But I'm doing it.
Oh, one last question. This may be an NDA one.
Here you go.
Last question, and we out of here. Are you involved in Acts 2 and 3?
Who was that?
Renaissance Acts 2 and 3. Are you involved?
I don't even know if that's gonna happen.
Oh, well, there you have it. Sidebar: this episode was recorded at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday, and no lie, after we recorded the episode, we went to the bar, and she dropped Act 2.
Jontè.
NDA.
Thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for being our first guest. Thank you so much for being you and inspiring me in ways that you don't even know. And to our,
can I say something too?
Talk to me.
Congratulations to y'all on the show.
Thank you. Cheers to us. Cheers.
It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait to see where it goes with you guys.
Thank you.
The energy that you guys have is on point.
Thank you.
And them questions, them notes, be ready, girl.
Listen, I does my research.
Girl, anybody that's coming here, just make sure you ready.
Be ready, okay?
They got notes. I'm sitting over here like, damn, they got notes.
Okay.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So at the end of each show, we're going to say this quotes. And the quote is, remember to leave here empty.
Leave here empty, y'all.
Means whatever your gifts are, whatever you want to release into the world as far as creators, release that energy.
Release.
And
Don't hold
leave
it
here
empty. Don't
leave
hold
here
that
empty.
baggage, honey.
Okay.
That's right. You heard it here first.
And that is the first episode of Crèative Crèatif. You can find us on Spotify and wherever else you listen to podcasts. See you on the next episode.
Thank you. Later.